So the embargo has now lifted for the information that I've been teasing for the last days. At the time of this video, you should have actually seen the roadmap reveal for Marvel's Avengers and the ton of content that will be coming in the future. Everyone really guessed it, but we've got the Black Panther expansion, which if you watch the video showing them off, it looks absolutely amazing. But we've got that coming up. Alongside that, we've got a ton of changes that have been requested by players for a fair amount of time as well. Now, this actual reveal, I was lucky enough to get invited to a private screening of it yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. I'm really grateful to Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix for arranging that. The other content creators that were there and myself, we were all sitting there like kids in a candy store with big massive grins on their face the whole time. It really was pretty awesome, and this is coming from someone, if you've watched my content recently, you know I was feeling pretty burnt out with the game, but it was absolutely awesome what we've seen. Now, it wasn't only the roadmap that I imagine all of you will have watched by now that we actually seen. We got access to ask the developers questions, which was really great, and then we got a little video showreel of other elements that are coming to the game and other discussion around the game about some pretty awesome stuff that's got me, you can tell, I'm really excited about it. I'm not someone that gets that excited that often, to be honest. So what we're going to do in this video is we'll break down the roadmap, of course, but before we do that, I'm going to break down all the information that will be brand new, that was not covered in the roadmap. You would not have heard this anywhere else, and there's some pretty awesome stuff in here. So let's jump in and let's break all this down. So I will mention that with the information I'm given today, we weren't allowed to record the session or take any screenshots or any of that. We just had to take notes, so I was frantically scribbling all this down, so there'll be some things that I might have missed a little bit, I don't have the best description of, but I've done it to the best of my ability here. But we'll start off, they opened up the presentation and they were talking about the fact they were absolutely dedicated to the future of the game, and that was really great to hear. I know they can say that, and action's ultimately the most important things, but it was nice to hear them be really upfront about that. They quickly talked about working from home and the impact. We know it's had an impact on them, of course, but they were saying that content generally can take between 3 to 5 times longer to actually create working from home, because you have the issues, for example, like when they need to have a new build sent out to the developers for them to start working on, it's a massive download and it can take an age for some of the developers to actually download it. But that's one of the reasons for all the delays. But let's jump into this additional information we got. Now, the first one on a little screenshot down the bottom of the screen, and I think a lot of the other creators missed it, there was a brand new major artifact called Void Tech Transporter. It allows you to summon Hank Pym as a summon. Absolutely amazing. Something I've actually asked for. A lot of the things on here are like a list of, it's like a wish list that I've come up with for quite some time, but we've got that first. Major artifact allowing you to summon a new character, which is amazing. In future, hopefully we can get other characters, get the likes of War Machine and so on, getting summoned in. You've got that. They talked about the mega level threats. You've still got the issue with the multiplayer matchmaking. They quite rightly said that these levels will take potentially several hours to get through. They don't want anyone to get cut off, they don't want any bugs to happen a few hours in, so they're trying to make them as 100% flawless as they can before they come out. Good news in regards to them, there was a question asking about will they be weekend only, because that's been mentioned a few times. That's not going to be the case. They'll be open for the entire week and they will reset weekly, so that's absolutely awesome. On the subject of the mega level threats, we were shown some custom super adaptoid gear. Pretty sure it's not going to change your appearance at all, but the actual tooltips for it were specific to the super adaptoid, and that drops for each of the heroes, so that looked really nice. Next up, something awesome we had and I was asking about is it's a suggestion I come up with. When they recently made the changes to the XP, I was saying, rather than changing this, why not bring in some kind of system that rewards you for any XP you get after level 50? They're going to do that. Absolutely awesome. We'll have the best description I can give and the easiest one so you can understand it. It's equivalent of a Paragon system that's in Diablo. So excess XP you get after level 50, you'll be able to use that to customise and level up your hero. So it means like you're always making progress. Even if you have a bad day of RNG, you'll still be making progress. So that's absolutely awesome. They talked about skill augments. I've got that written down in my notes. I don't have anything else written down next to it, unfortunately, and I can't remember too much about it, but they did talk about skill augments being used to make heroes more individual as well. Next up, we have something else that people have been asking for quite some time. It's attached to a new mode called Tachyon Anomaly, very similar to the Tachyon Rifts. The difference with this is it allows more than one version of each hero at a time. What I think they're doing with this, and it would make sense to do, is I think personally having more than one version of a hero at a time could be pretty broken. So it sounds like they're testing this out to see how broken it actually is by introducing it in one individual mode. If it turns out it's not that broken and people aren't just demolishing all the content in the game with 4 versions of 4 or whatever, then it's something that will more than likely be rolled out further. But it does make sense how they're actually doing that. We then were shown off some animated nameplates which looked absolutely amazing. There will be an epic nameplate for Black Widow specifically. It's tied around something that I believe is mentioned in the roadmap. It's a Red Room event that will be coming to the game with currency to earn as well. So that, I believe, is all the additional information that wasn't included in the roadmap reveal. So it's a fair amount. Just to quickly go over it again there, you've got a major artifact where you can summon Hank Pym, incredible. You've got that Omega level threats that will be open for the whole week. You've got a Paragon system for your excess XP. You've got the ability to play more than one version of a hero at a time. There's just so many things people have been asking for so long that have been implemented. And this is without even us discussing the roadmap, but let's go in and discuss that now. So once again, this is coming from my notes here, but I tried to jot down as much as I actually could. So genuinely speaking, with the roadmap, with no real timetable for it, you've got Gear 2.0 that they're still working on. You have MCU costumes are coming to the game, which is amazing. It's going to be a license to print money for the game. Now, why am I interested in a large company making more money? It means the game can only get better if they're bringing in more money. They can hopefully get more developers in, they can ramp up the speed of content, but MCU costumes are coming. Absolutely brilliant. We've then got the multiplayer Mega Hives, so they're working on actually bringing that out. We're in an order now of the content, so later on today, or at the time of this video it will be out, we'll have the Hawkeye update with the next gen, everything that comes alongside that, and we've seen earlier on in a stream that you get loot goblins essentially in the game now that drop loot, so that's pretty nice, a little change there. Following on from that, if I've got my timeline right here, you've got a Black Widow event. It's a Red Room event. It looked like a version of the Harm Room, but it's got red visuals to it, and it actually looked really nice. It didn't look like a simple reskin, it looked really nice. Now, based around that event, you'll have your new nameplates that you can earn, your animated nameplates, and there was currencies to earn as well. I'm sure there was more than mentioned about that, but again, I was jotting down my notes really quick for this section. Moving on from that, we then have another villain sector. I'm pretty certain it is going to be a villain sector with Scientist Supreme, and it's based around her using the Cosmic Cube. We got to see what the boss fight would look like. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm not going to say any more than that, but it looked like nothing we've seen so far visually in the game. It looked absolutely brilliant. They mention as well with the Cosmic Cube, it's going to be an item that can kind of mix everything up in the universe, and it allows them to open the game up to anything basically. So I don't know, does that mean time it could open up to X-Men and so on? Potentially it could, but they're saying the Cosmic Cube allows that, allows them so much freedom with the game and the universe. We then had the patrol mode. This is something that I so wanted to tell ex-players of Marvel Heroes about, but there's a patrol mode coming to the game. So if you're a Marvel Heroes player, think of Midtown Manhattan, something very similar to that. Something that a lot of people have requested, and myself and Johnny Rocker, another streamer, we were really hyped about this when they did reveal it. We really were, we were punching the air. So absolutely awesome. You've got a patrol mode, and one that hopefully like Midtown Manhattan and Marvel Heroes, you can just spend your day in, just going farming, just going round and round, fighting different enemies, getting different loot. So that's awesome. And then moving on to, we've had so much to cover, but then we've got Black Panther as well. So you've seen the reveal for that. He looked great. Everyone just went absolutely crazy when he was shown off the particular video for that. So it's the War for Wakanda. It will include a power level increase, so we'll be farming new gear again, a new outpost and biome, which I think is pretty obvious to see. But there'll be new claw-based faction enemies as well. So the AIM, I imagine, will make an appearance there, but there's going to be the brand new claw faction within that as well. So that's everything that was covered there. As mentioned, I've been really burnt out with the game recently, but so many of these changes are really incredibly positive changes that we've been asking for so much time. Just to go for it again quickly, you've got your MCU costumes, you've got a patrol mode, you've got a Paragon system, you've got major artifacts that can summon in other characters, you've got Black Panther and the War for Wakanda. Absolutely awesome. I know I've said that so many times, take a drink every time I say that and you'll be drunk by the end of this video, but it really is awesome what we were showing in it again. I'm really excited now. Let me know in the comments below if what you think of all this that we've shown off. Let me know if you were burnt out. Has this changed your opinion about the game? Are you hopeful for the future? Because I most definitely am hopeful for the future after seeing what we did see yesterday. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, and thanks for tuning in. Stay safe and I'll see you all again soon.